check on these valves. These valves always leak. There's something. There we go. So that's a very, very small leak because we're on turbo mode and it's just barely bleeping. All right, here's another one of these racks that you guys see so often. This is a Kyrac rack. And today we're working on a set of Cook's drawers. I had another service technician out here about a week or two ago, and we had to top off the charge on their lowboy Cook's drawers. And today I scheduled to come in, asked them to empty out the box, and I'm gonna do a leak search on the entire system to try to figure out where the potential leaks might be. So we're gonna jump into this guy. I went ahead and opened up all the Cook's drawers downstairs so that way the compressor would call, so it's running. And we're gonna go ahead and shut it off with a breaker now and then equalize out the gauges to make our chances of finding the leak a little bit easier. So we are working on drawers, section D. D is in David. This one right here. So we got that guy turned off. And then now to give myself better odds of finding this refrigerant leak, we're gonna go ahead and open up the low side. Compressor's not running anymore. And the high side. That way the pressures equalize out and we get higher pressure on the low side. Again, with the compressor off. So let's go ahead and go downstairs and see what we can find. So I had scheduled this and it's cool, they had all the food out for me. So I'm just walking through, listening. To me, honestly, it sounds like this motor is going bad. This one's running good. This one's running good. And this one's running good. So yeah, well, as part of whatever we figure out today, we'll probably quote to replace this motor too. Cardboard is your best friend when you're working in these guys, so that way you don't gotta lay in the water and nasty stuff. So we gotta peel this guy off and then do it one by one to get to each evaporator. We got 4 evaps, so. All right, today we're gonna be using FIELDPIECE's new leak detector. It's their new infrared leak detector, the DR82. One of my favorite features is the lighted tip, because sometimes it could be loud and it's a little difficult to hear the annunciator in here. But when you can see the tip, you know, where you're leak searching, it's awesome. So let's get to it. So on this guy right here, it's pretty simple. You got a couple different modes. You got high, medium, low, and then turbo. Just high is what I use. This looks like a fairly new coil, so I wouldn't think the leak's gonna be in here. I have a feeling we'll find it in a coil that is old, more than likely. So I'm not picking anything up in here. This is our 404A refrigerant on this guy, so this guy would certainly pick it up. But if we want to just be 100% sure, we can change the sensitivity over to turbo mode, which is crazy sensitive. It'll find leaks that you don't necessarily want to find. All right, let's see. I'm not picking anything up on this guy. Oh, maybe. Could be picking it up from the drain though too, because I was like leaning towards the drain. Let's go down here. Nothing. Nothing, huh? I got like a quick trace of something. But again, I have it on turbo mode, which is sometimes a little too sensitive. Double check. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. We're gonna jump to the next coil. A couple years back, they had a service company come out, a stainless company, and redo all these drawers, and I really dig these quick releases. If any of you guys works on these Cook's drawers, you know what I'm talking about. But it's a super easy quick release, so you're not relying on screws going in the sidewall stripping them out. It's really, really nice. When you are working on these, even though I have cardboard, what you really need to watch out for is up there. You'll rub your head in that stuff. It's the drawer splatter from when they slam the drawers. You'll rub your head in it and then won't realize you'll have gunk in your head all day. All right, let's jump on this guy. Usually you pick them up right here in these corners. And I'm not seeing anything underneath. Let's turn it on to turbo mode and see if it picks it up any better. Nothing at all. Okay, let's keep on going. Again, this is a new coil, so I thought I replaced all these coils, but maybe not. Silly me, my battery was getting low and I didn't want it to run dead on me. So the cool thing, like many other leak detectors too, though, is you can plug it in and still use it. So but I am not finding anything. I thought maybe I would find it on this one, because this one looks like someone had brazed on something in here, but nothing in here either. So we're gonna get to the last coil, and then we'll have to jump on the roof because we could have a leak up there too. So I don't foresee there being a leak on this one either, because these are all new coils. So it's either in the line set or possibly on the roof. Not seeing anything in here. Over here. Ooh, wait, are we getting something over here? Hold on. Let's check that again. No, picked up. Again, I'm on turbo mode though right now, so it goes crazy. But yeah, I don't see anything. Nope. All right, up to the roof we go. All right, so this is my condenser right here, and I am not seeing anything. So on this guy, we're looking for a red light to flash on the tip, or this guy to start beeping. It does have a numerical readout. It's not a parts per million readout, it's just a numerical scale. Higher for a leak, lower for nothing. All right, so we're just checking this guy out. You know, I'm getting strong deja vu. I swear I just leak checked this system like a year ago. Something like that. You know, with COVID and everything, time gets ahead of you. So I'm not seeing anything there. I want to get into this pressure control. These things tend to have leaks. Nothing. Nothing. Man, I hope the leak's not in the line set, because that line set's going to be a nightmare to leak check. Nothing. Let's check on these valves. These valves always leak. There's something. There we go. So that's a very, very small leak because we're on turbo mode and it's just barely bleeping. Okay, so that's one thing. Now, I don't want to say that's the only leak. Valve, you know, sometimes those valves do leak, and I usually don't get too concerned with them because you can usually tighten up the cap enough or something. But yeah, I'm picking up a few things over here. So yeah, see, we're definitely picking it up right there. So I like that light, because if you're working on a rack like this, like I have an exhaust fan running behind me, this thing, you know, you can have other background noises, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of going deaf. So like I have an exhaust fan running behind me, and all I really hear is that exhaust fan. Like I can't, I don't know what that's called, but it drives me nuts. Okay, so another place too, I want to see this guy one more time. Yeah, definitely right in there. Very small though. We're going to pull this cover off this compressor. I've seen them leak out the terminals too. No, but you definitely want to remember to check those, because I've seen it happen. Also, your pressure controls. I've seen it leak through the peanut pressure controls and come up in the wiring. But usually, like right in here, you'd be able to pick it up, and I'm not picking anything up on that guy. But I'm definitely getting it on that suction service valve. Whoa. Where am I getting a hit from? Is it my gauges? My gauges. Tighten this guy up. It's tight. It's not the gauge manifold itself, it's my hoses. Okay, well that happens. And we are just not picking anything up. I want to be thorough because I swear I just did this, so I want to make sure we look at every possible place. It was beeping on that flare nut over there. I'll have to test to see if the leak detector is sensitive to nylog, because I don't think there's a leak there. Oh, nope, it's beeping right there on that flare nut. We'll have to soak that up too. So we're gonna start on our receiver, and we're on the other side now. So yeah, I put this receiver in 1820. Okay, nothing on that guy. Let's hit the bottom of the condenser to see if it's coming out from over here. Nothing. A little dirty, but not too bad. Nothing. Let's hit the return bins on the condenser. Nothing, huh? Okay. So, flare nuts. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Huh. So the tip is totally flexible. Again, I know other leak detectors do that too. So let's get on this guy and see if we pick anything up here. Nothing on the top flare nut. Nothing on the dryer to sight glass connection. We definitely still pick it up on that flare nut. Super micro leak. Okay. So it's a tiny, tiny refrigerant leak on that flare nut and on that service valve over there. Let's see what this service valve looks like. These service valves tend to leak. The caps usually seal off the leaks though. I mean, you know, the caps really aren't meant to do that, but yeah, we're picking something up on that, but that's pretty common. I'll soap it up when I'm all done working on it. I'm gonna look into that flare nut on the bottom of that dryer real quick. So I said the turbo mode is really, really sensitive. I've used this leak detector before, and you know, sometimes the turbo mode finds leaks that you don't want to find. Like, they're so hard. I can't even pick it up with soap bubbles, but it's there. It's definitely there, but I mean, it's just erratic. Like, it's just not popping up with the soap bubbles there. But we're gonna go ahead and tighten up on that flare nut and see if that solves it, and then we're gonna look into that suction service valve over there too. All right, so I'll give it a little tighten, and I'm not seeing anything. Not anymore. We'll check everything else just to double check. We're good now. We're gonna go look at that suction service valve over there now. Also want to come over here to this pump down solenoid and leak check around that guy, making sure nothing's going off over here. I'm on turbo mode still, just so I'm looking for anything I can pick up. And I'm not picking anything up down here either. So I don't think we have anything else. Nothing. Okay. All right, we're gonna go look into that suction service valve over there. All right, I can't stress enough that when you guys are using this leak detector, you typically want to use it in the high setting. The turbo setting is you'll find nuisance things, okay? But in this situation, I couldn't find any leaks, so that's why I put it on turbo, and I started finding, you know, little stuff. But what I did was I backseated the valve, the service valve, and put the cap on it, and I'm not picking up any leaks even on turbo mode anymore. So those service valves leak all the time, especially when you're actuating them. So I wasn't too concerned as of yet, because when I backseated it, I wanted to make sure that the leak went away, and we're not picking it up anymore. We're not picking anything up on the low pressure control, nowhere else, just at that flare nut right there, and I'm not picking that up anymore. I guess we'll check it one more time just to be safe, but nothing. Nothing. And then right here, and again, we're on turbo mode still. Nothing. See if we still pick up something right here. Nope, not even at my gauges anymore. I tightened that on. Okay, well, we got to check the refrigerant level, make sure that we're at 3/4 of the receiver, so we're going to pump it down and do that now. All right, so you can clearly see that the liquid level's about right here where the temperature change happens, and that's a little bit low. We're going to go ahead and add some refrigerant. I don't know that my technician actually topped it off to the 3/4 level. All right, I got it a little bit above, but we're at the 3/4 mark now. You can clearly see the temperature difference, so that's the maximum amount of refrigerant I can put in the system. All right, those leaks that I found were very small, and to be honest with you, I don't know if those are the only leaks, but here's the problem. This entire line set, I'd say 90% of the line set is above a drywall ceiling that you cannot access. It's just such a mess. There's a very small section that you can access, but the rest of it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this one go. We're gonna tell the customer we topped off the charge, and if we have any more leaks, then we're gonna have to start looking into cutting into the drywall and opening up the ceiling to be able to access it. It sucks, but yeah, you know, you can only do what you can do. We went back out, we did a thorough leak search, got to everything we could get to except for the line set. Now, we did find some leaks. I'm not 100% confident. My gut tells me that there's probably still a leak in the line set, but you really have to evaluate everything, right? And I don't want to go cutting the ceiling open quite yet, right? If I have to, we'll definitely do it, and the customer would support me, but I really don't want to have to go cut drywall and then have a drywall company come in and have to patch it to find no leak, right? So in this situation, we're going to give it time. We did fix some very small leaks, but again, I don't think it covers the what is it, like 6 pounds we had to add to the system or whatever overall from the first time we were there. But there's always a possibility, okay? But I'm confident in FIELDPIECE's DR82 infrared leak detector in the ability to find the leaks. It's finding them for sure, okay? I just think that there's a possibility we have another leak in the line set of which I just couldn't get to at this time. But there's always the possibility that it was the micro leaks that I found. So I just want to give it some time, and the customer supports my opinion on this one too, because the last thing they want me to do is start cutting open the ceiling, okay? So let's talk about the new leak detector. So FIELDPIECE's new DR82 leak detector is an infrared leak detector. I really dig it. Fits in your hand nice and good. I really appreciate the numerical display on it. Now, it is not a parts per million readout, but it is a numerical display. And the cool thing about the leak detector is, you know, when you look at it, like, I love to test tools and see how intuitive they are. And this one, even though I did read the instructions, I didn't have to, okay? It's super easy. It only has a few buttons. It's not complicated to get through the screens, to change the sensitivity, to turn on manual 0, auto 0, all that stuff. It's super easy, okay? And for someone like me that has a hard time hearing when there's background noise and stuff like that going on, the tip that lights up on it is awesome. And then also the numerical display is awesome too. You know, there's times when I have a hard time being in a restaurant, they're playing music and stuff like that, and all I can hear, I don't know what that is. It's like an auditory thing or something, but I have a hard time, you know, hearing things when we have background noise going on. So that's something that this leak detector really does well by having the lighted tip and the numerical display, okay? They also came out with another leak detector. It's the DR58, and that is a heated diode leak detector. So you have two options. You have the DR82, which is the infrared. That's the one that I was using. And then you also have the DR58 heated diode leak detector. So those should be on the market here anytime soon. Now, with this right here, you know, I know I'm going to get the comment that, you know, oh, you know, that's why I don't like to use flares, because they leak. Guys, it's so rare that I get a leak on a flare. Now, to be fair, I'm not using them on 410A, which does tend to run higher pressures. I'm not saying that I wouldn't use a flare on a 410A system, but it's very rare that I actually get leaks on the flare nuts. And the only place that I really use flares, like, I'm not advocating for using flares down in the evaporator and all that stuff. I just really appreciate using them on the roof when we have, you know, remote systems where I don't necessarily want to have to drag my torches onto the roof. You know, let's say that I changed one of those evaporator coils or something. I wouldn't have had to take my torches all the way up to the roof. I just had to go up there with the dryer, mechanically change the dryer.
and move on. So I'm still confident in using flares, and I still am going to continue to use flares on my dryers at all times, just because I'm a lazy person at heart, right? I don't want to have to take unnecessary tools on the roof unless I absolutely have to. Now, if I have to do a compressor change out, for sure, we're going to have to braze and stuff on the roof, but for evaporator coil leaks and stuff, I necessarily won't have to. So that's awesome. I really appreciate you guys making it to the end of the video. This is so awesome. All your guys' support is so humbling. It's amazing. If you guys have not already, check out my website, hvacrvideos.com. We've got hats, beanies, shirts, all that stuff available. And then also definitely go to FIELDPIECE's website and, check out the release dates and stuff on the new tools that are coming out. All right. I really, really appreciate you. And we will catch you on the next one. Okay.